Hey, this is Rail, and welcome back to World of Tanks. Here we are actually in a confrontation battle with the U.S. versus the Russians, and I'm in my Sherman Easy-8. Now, I'll just apologize right here and now. If you hear any thumping or whatnot in the background, that is the puppy running up and down the stairs. But yeah, I've been trying to grind out to get the next tank in the Easy-8 for a while now, and I've just decided to focus on that and another tank. But one thing you'll probably notice is some things are off. That's because I installed XVM and a mod in here that helped make things better, but unfortunately it made World of Tanks unplayable with how much lag and delay it caused. My machine just isn't powerful enough to run them. But a couple of fortunate side effects is it left a couple of things behind, which isn't a bad thing. It left behind the Batcave garage, and, as you can hear, Gnome Father's gun sounds, which isn't working quite right, but still, it tickles you just in that right spot. Almost like, scratching a dog right behind the ear, getting his leg kicking. Yeah. I'm just trying to move up to be effective, because you see, they got a KV-1S, KV-2, and T-150 as their top tiers, where we just got 3 Hellcats, and me in the Easy-8, and another guy in a Sherman Jumbo. I keep forgetting that there's rocks there, but, I'm just trying to be effective. And unfortunately, right around here is when I start hitting massive lag spikes, probably due to internet and how weak my machine's processor is. You see, like, the scores are even, but the enemy just keeps outdoing us. Even though we got 3 Hellcats, they still got 3 dangerous heavy tanks and a dangerous tank destroyer. Now, this is an odd artifact of removing them, but you deal with it. It's like 4-4, and I still have not done any damage in this game. I'm trying to aim where I can shoot for this house, but Finally, first damage off of a KV-1, and he bounced off me. And I didn't notice the T-28 because of tunnel vision, but he bounced off me there. Oh, don't you just love that sound? Now we're starting to win a little comfortably, but you still can't just relax or anything, because anything can happen. Because, they got 3 dangerous heavies at tier 6. And their arty isn't bad either. He just killed our light tank who went to go take him out. And I turn around there because they're like, wait a minute, that's not where I want to head. And I didn't notice the Churchill 3 up there until I was like, oh crap, he probably spotted me. I was trying to hunt down that KV-2 I spotted, but I'm like, I'll go this way, deal with this heavy tank, see if it's KV-1S or T-150. Now, one mistake I made is the tank going into our base you see on the minimap, I thought that was the KV-1S. Not the KV-1, I thought it was the KV-2. It turned out to be the KV-1S. Herpaderp. Boom, good hit on the T-150. I wish I could have probably killed him there and then, but unfortunately, I hit his tracks instead. I'm looking at the scores, and it's like, that's not good. I'm like, hopefully our base defenders could take care of those guys assaulting the base, because I thought it was to the KV-2. Didn't realize it was the KV-1S. And when I see the base defenders starting to die, I'm like, I can't stick around here forever. And that KV, I'm like, and I realized the KV-2 is probably still nearby, so I'm like, I need to move up at some point and make this a one-on-one battle, because I can't get hit flanked by the KV-2. There. Brain, catch up with the mouth. So I'm like, I just need to use my speed and maneuverability to outplay this T-150. And depending on what gun he has, he's probably got a slower reload than I do. But I got the health to get hit. So move up using what I learned from watching what I actually saw in a recent video from Jingles about the Type 4 Chinu, or whatever the Japanese Tier 6 is, told me what I was doing wrong in this tank. And then there's KV2. Man, that was a nice sound from the gun. But I'm just moving up because I know he's got a long reload, and I'll just... In playing one on a test server, I know that it's slow turret, slow reload. Just outmaneuver him. Boom. 2 kills, and 2 of the most dangerous enemy heavy tanks are down. But now we're outnumbered 2-1. And I'm like, okay, now I definitely know. The KV-1S is the one in there capping. Because I know where the Churchill 3 was last spotted at, and there's no way he could have made it all the way over here without someone knowing. Now I notice that our T1 Heavy is moving back, so it's like, okay, good. Because if I take a hit, you know, I could probably at least distract the KV-1S and he take a shot. So I'm just going to move up, and I'm like, he's probably most likely hiding behind the rock right in front of us. So, just trying to get up, get around, and hopefully catch him off guard. I don't know why I suddenly stop here, I guess trying to figure out where he's pointing. I'm like, no, I should have gone forward. I donked my shot, but thank God, he probably got a low roll, and I had enough health. Now there's just down to a tank destroyer, Su-85B, which I'm still cautious about, because I drive one, and that gun from that can be pretty troll. In both advantage of me and that guy, but if he gets a good enough shot on me, I could be one-shot killed by him. I mean, the gun on that isn't exactly a slouch, but our T-150 takes him out. Now it's starting to move up here because see, the enemy already has 2 kills, so he's no slouch either. But I'm almost thinking that the Churchill 3 is either AFK or just really that bad, and decided he'd be better off camping in base. Which, in this case, he would have been better off going out and shooting enemy tanks, because, I mean, he could have easily taken me out, because his gun has enough penetration to get through the relatively soft armor for its tier on the front of the Easy-8. I'm like, I know I'm the fast mobile tank, so I'll just keep moving. Had no idea what our T-150 is doing, I guess trying to make sure that the arty isn't going north to cap. I go this way to make sure he isn't just hiding somewhere, so hopefully I can catch him off guard. And, you know, make it a one-on-one battle instead of like 2-on-1 with the Churchill and the arty versus me, where it'd be a losing battle because I'd either have to take out one or the other. And that Churchill 3 is probably still on full health. I mean, that was what was going through my mind. So I'm trying to roll up here cautiously, trying to find every, block lines of sight from, every bush I can, because if I was arty, I would have hit in there. Trying to be cautious, trying to also draw out arty, get him to fire, so I got some time to be safe. And it turns out the Churchill 3 is AFK, so he isn't a bad player. Well, he probably is, but I can't judge. He probably, had to leave or something. But hey, free kill. Free damage. Free credits, and I have no idea where that hit. I've looked through this replay several times trying to figure out where that arty hit, but it's like, okay, arty fired, so I need to move up now. Trying to basically give myself cover in case I do spot arty. So, hoping he'd donk his shot. Now, me and that T-150, or not T-1, T-1 Heavy, blah, blah, blah. We're Americans, not Russians. But basically, working with him, hopefully, and try to comb the area. I went to go to cap base, but then it's like, oh, T-150 spotted him. He could probably take this guy out, but I need to move up anyways, because he could easily, one-shot kill both of us, and he could still win this game. So, like, I'm not going to let that happen. No sirree, Bob. So, one of us spots him again, I fire on the move, miss. T-150 goes charging, but ends up getting one shot killed, so I'm like, this next shot needs to work, and yes! 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 We killed him. Oh man, what a heck of a game this game was. Now let's show you the results. And as you can see, this match was good enough for a first class mastery badge, master gunner, and sharpshooter. And I got 22,281 credits and 1,016 experience, and that is undoubled. Already had my daily double for today, and it was a whole lot less and pretty much pitiful compared to this one. As you can see, I placed top of my team for both damage and experience. Even though me and that Jackson basically did as much damage as the enemy KV-1S, we ended up outplaying them for this. I mean, that KV-1S got a high caliber. He must have been raging afterwards because of how easily and how quickly he was taken out by Easy-8 in a T1 Heavy. As you can see here, fired 23 shots with only 17 actually hit the target and only 16 went through. Damage is 1,378, which is respectable. Which, potential damage received was about almost as much as my health probably. Damage due to my assistance, 778, which is pretty good, and as you can see, I got all this undoubled, which is pretty freaking awesome. Now, if only I had a premium account, it'd probably look a whole lot better. Now, the Sherman Easy-8 is actually a pretty decent tank, but it took me a while to actually learn how to play it, because I had to watch like several videos on this tank and several others similar to it by a lot of the big name guys for me to figure out what I needed to do with this tank. I mean, it was hard for me to get and understand what I needed to do, but once I finally understand, this tank really has no armor that will really protect you, where you'll get a lucky bounce off it every once in a while, but you'll still don't rely on it. Your best job is to use your speed and maneuverability to get around, outflank, and outplay the enemy team. Which, in this game, I did that, but also I got lucky a few times, when I took the hit from the T-150 and the KV-1S. And also the fact that I did look back through it, and that Artie almost got me. And he could have won the game. But at that point, I just got super lucky. I mean, the Easy-8 is a great tank, and it's actually pretty easy to maneuver and not that hard to learn. I'm just hoping the next few tanks in the American tech tree are as fun and as reliable as this tank. From what I've heard, the next tank up, it's got a better gun, better DPM and whatnot. What makes it enjoyable, basically, what I'm trying to say is that it gets a 90mm gun, which is going to be a real step up from the 76mm the U.S. tanks used. What was Patton thinking whenever he said that we should have stuck with Shermans? But whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe please leave a like, and share it with your friends, and maybe leave me know what am I doing wrong, what am I doing right, what do I just plain suck. And as always, I will see you folks next time. Bye.